Hello and welcome back to Lord Winklebottom Investigates. Last left off, you need to start to interrogate.
Madam? About the incident. How well did you know Gilfrey?
Aristotle, not well. I knew dear Ethelberta for many years, almost since I was a Creer. I remember she was so excited when Aristotle proposed to her. He always seemed such a kind soul.
Then you don't know why anyone would have done him in?
Gracious, no. Please find out what caused this terrible tragedy, Lord Winklebottom. I fear his soul will not rest until you do.
Possibly.
What do you know about the incident?
I have tried to speak to the spirits, but there is a veil over these events. All is cloudy to me.
A load of rot.
Rumple, do be polite.
Oh, maybe you're right, Doctor. Recently, I find myself wondering if my powers are real after all. Perhaps it's all in my head.
You're doubting your abilities.
I might not be the only one. Think about it. An animal of science brought me here. Maybe he didn't believe either. Maybe he planned to put me to the test. If he did, I don't know that I would have passed.
Fascinating. Well,
Thank you for your time, madam.
worried Gilfrey intended to expose her. Thinks Gilfrey wanted to expose her secret. So everyone's here because of blackmail. So this is just clue. There's some we didn't check.
Without a coin, we can't use this.
Oh. Oh!
I say, weren't there some old coins here before?
I'll say they were. Some ruddy bounder has made off with the lot.
Nothing under the case. Looks like they've been taken.
Damn cheek of somebody getting hold of them before you did.
I have reason to believe you might have accidentally placed a quantity of coins into your bill.
Oh, my word! However did these get here? Well, perhaps you should take them, darling, and let us not make any further mention of it.
Ugh, they're all wet. Here, Rumple, you're more used to bodily fluids than I. You keep these, and I'll just take the one we need.
Oh, charming.
It seems to me, Dame, that you're making something of a habit of purloining items that don't belong to you.
And you're a
Yes.
damn thief.
Oh, darling, it's true, it's true. I just can't help myself. So many pretty, shiny things. They'd be happier with me, don't you think? I'm doing it for them.
I see. It's really not acceptable behaviour, though.
Everybody's allowed one dirty little habit, aren't they, darlings? It's such a little thing, really. They make such a fuss about it.
They?
The theatre owners said I'd ruined the play. It was the Meerkats of Venice. Well, how was I to know they needed all three of those silly boxes? I left them one, but the others were so sparkly. I just had to have them, darlings. I had to.
You mean you stole props in the middle of the play? I take it they fired you.
Yes, darling. They replaced me. Replaced me! And it was all hush-hush, of course, but I didn't work in theatre again. These days I'm lucky to get booked for a cabaret night at the Darby and Joan Club.
Most distressing, I'm sure.
To
Interesting.
think my career would meet such an ignoble end. Oh, darlings, you should have seen me in my prime. I did all the greats. Shakespeare, the primates of Penzance, waiting for Doggo. Oh, I was marvelous, darlings, simply marvelous.
Farewell, Dame Celia.
Possible kleptomaniac. Probable. I mean, she admitted. Well, let's see what this dirty picture is.
I'll just pop this in here and...
It's working. It's working. Let me see, dash it all. I say, there's a nude fellow in a bath. You know, he looks somewhat familiar.
Oh.
Well, I'll be jiggered.
I think perhaps we should endeavour to never watch that again. Ever.
Yes, quite so, old thing. Quite so.
I don't know. It's kind of cute. But I think we've discovered more blackmail here. So, about the incident.
Reverend, could we talk about the incident? What can you tell us about the incident last night?
Alas, not a jot. I arrived here and went to my room for some peace and quiet before the big event. By the time I came down, poor Gilfrey had already passed.
You saw nothing unusual.
I wish I could help you, but no, I'm afraid I did not.
Ah, Reverend, there's something rather delicate I wish to discuss with you. Quiet, Frumple.
What is it, my son?
Well, that is to say...
You were in a dirty movie.
Ah, bugger. I just knew it had come out at some point.
You don't deny it.
Would that I could, but no. I feared Gilfrey had discovered my secret. I suppose that's why we're all here, so he can reveal the terrible truth to the world.
Surely not. Gilfrey wouldn't do something like that.
And why shouldn't he? Maybe he felt that it was the right thing to do, or maybe he was going to ask for money to keep my secret. In any event, perhaps I should be punished for my sordid past. I needed the money, you see. I was young and foolish.
The old church roof again. Couldn't you run a tombola or something?
I hadn't taken up the cloth then, you understand. In fact, in many regards, this is my way of atoning for that sin.
Well, don't worry, Reverend. Your secret is safe with us.
Oh, is it? That's a shame. It's a blasted funny story.
Also, I mean, it's not exactly a
Well, goodbye for now,
shameful thing,
Reverend.
I suppose.
God be with you, my son.
Reverend, could we talk about the incident?
Yeah, what were you
I wonder if we
doing?
could discuss what you were doing last night.
Why? Whatever do you mean?
Well, we found your prayer book on the stairs to the attic. The same attic where Ambrose disturbed someone and got himself shut in.
You can't think I would do such a thing. I'm an animal of God, Winklebottom. I would never...
And yet, we found something up there that was of great interest to you, as you know.
All right, I admit I was trying to find that wretched machine. I thought I could destroy it and save my good name, but I heard somebody coming up the hall stairs, so I darted out of there and hid in the study. I suppose I dropped my book then.
So you never actually went into the attic?
No, I swear I didn't, and I certainly didn't harm poor Aristotle.
Thank you, Reverend. That'll be all for now.
Okay.
Well, goodbye for now, Reverend.
God be with you, my son.
I believe Gilfried might have blackmailed him and attempted to get into the attic.
If
Oh,
we
about
could
the
talk about the incident for a moment.
What do you think
What can you
happened?
tell us about Gilfrey's death?
Nothing, I'm afraid. I wasn't in the mansion at the time. I live elsewhere on the island. I prefer the solitude. It allows me to focus on my work.
I see.
How was your relationship with Gilfrey?
I was very grateful to him for offering me work. Many people aren't quite so open-minded, you know.
You don't know of anybody who would wish him harm.
Not at all. He wasn't exactly outgoing, at least in the time I knew him.
But you got along with him well.
As well as could be expected. Like most people, he underestimated me. I'm capable of far more than the work he allowed me to do, Mr. Winklebottom. But I'm used to being underappreciated.
Because you're, you know.
Indeed. Not the sort of work a woman is supposed to do, don't you know? I have to work twice as hard as the others for a quarter of the recognition.
Most frustrating, I'm sure.
And on top of that, I can't even get a lab coat my size with pockets in it. It's just infuriating.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Miss Price.
I'd appreciate her work. Possible motive? Maybe. As a scientist, you'd probably know.
Now, let us have a look.
Oh, just some paper.
Not inherently so.
Best way, in my opinion.
One would hope that you would...
Let's see. About the incident.
Perhaps we should discuss the incident.
What's
Do
your
you have any
relationship?
idea who would want to kill poor Gilfrey?
Not a clue, old thing. Not a clue.
He had no legal problems, nothing that could suggest a motive.
Nothing that I knew about, and I would have known.
How about the old will? There's always a big kerfuffle about the will in cases like this, at least in my experience.
Nothing out of the ordinary. With his wife dead, just about everything goes to Constance.
Just about everything?
No.
Oh, there was an amount set aside for the staff, to ensure they were well looked after. Not enough to kill for, though.
I see.
And what can you tell us about what happened to Gilfrey?
Hard to say, old thing. I mean, there was no shortage of folks coming and going, so it really could have been anybody. Quite the collection of characters, I think you'll agree.
You don't know anybody else here?
Not one of them. I've known Gilfrey for years, but not socially. I just dealt with his legal matters.
I see.
Thank you, Mr. Spode.
Worked for Gilfrey for many years. Unlikely suspect. Well, let's check some of the more likely ones.
If we could discuss the incident last night.
What
Do
do
you
you
know
think
anything about
happened?
the circumstances of Gilfrey's death?
Not a jot, old thing. I mean, any one of us could have done it, couldn't we? People coming and going for this big event. I say, it could even have been you. Or Dr. F here.
How dare you, sir? I'm a doctor. I would never.
Steady on, old thing. He was just making a point.
Although he was already dead before we got here, so you know.
How well did you know Admiral Gilfrey?
Never met the fellow. I mean, Connie has talked about him, of course, but we never actually met.
So you don't know who might have wanted to kill him?
Not a clue, old thing. Isn't it usually a family thing? Inheritance and all that?
Alas, his only family is poor Miss Gilfrey. And you, once you're married, of course.
Right, yes, I suppose so. If he'd allowed the marriage, of course. I don't think the old boy approved of me, truth be told. Like my own family, I suppose. I say, you're not suggesting we had anything to do with this, are you?
I'm not suggesting anything at the moment, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Spode mentioned Constance's inheritance. It will be rather substantial, I believe.
Oh, rather. I mean, jolly rotten luck and all, but she'll be a rich woman now.
And you a rich man if you're to marry her.
I say, well, that's a fine thing, isn't it? Dashed rude of you, old thing. What exactly are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything, just pointing out the facts.
Well, you can get that idea out of your head right away. The nerve of you. I mean, really, it's just too much.
I see.
Thank you, sir.
And
Perhaps we could
finally,
discuss your family. Do you happen to know if there's a particular tune or song your parents used to enjoy together?
Why, yes, there is, as a matter of fact. A song called Waddling in the Moonlight. Mother used to play it on the organ. I haven't thought about that for years.
interesting.
Thank you, miss. We have reason to believe your father might have owned a safe.
Oh, that's right, he did.
I say, we've been over every blasted inch of that house and I've not seen one anywhere.
You wouldn't, Dr. Frumple. Father hid it. It's behind a painting in the drawing room. You won't get into it, though. Even I don't know how it opens. Father wouldn't go near it when others were in the room.
So how do you know about it?
One time, when I was just a duckling, I snuck into the room while he had the safe open. He didn't see me, thank goodness. I don't think even the staff know it's there. I can't imagine what he kept in it.
Thank you, Miss Gilfrey. Most interesting.
Yes.
Farewell, Miss Gilfrey.
Interesting. The drawing room. Well, I suppose let's finish off our interrogations.
Turning to the incident, then. Are you aware of anybody who might have had a grudge against Gilfrey?
Well, my lord, Pumphrey seemed most vexed of late. Said he overheard the master discussing getting rid of somebody on the telephone. He thought it was him because of an incident in the vegetable garden. But I'm sure it wasn't. I can't think what he overheard.
Interesting.
Please tell us in detail what you know about the incident.
Well, my lord, as you know, I discovered the master dead a short while before you arrived. The other guests were here, and I'd been helping them to their rooms. I went to find the master, and there he was. Dead. Oh, very horrible.
And you didn't see
Yeah.
anything strange before that?
Well, at the time, I thought it odd that Ambrose wasn't helping with the guests. Oh, but I never dreamed he'd been locked up there in the attic all that time.
Miss Clutterbuck, it strikes me you might have had a somewhat uneasy relationship with the victim.
Oh, no, sir. The master was very kind to me.
Not as kind as you'd have liked there.
I suppose I can't blame him. A person in his position couldn't be seen with somebody like me. It just wouldn't be proper.
Well, quite so.
I fancy I might have resented him for it a bit. Oh, my lord. If only things had been different.
Did you ever discuss this with him? Perhaps he might have felt the same way you did.
Maybe.
Oh, my lord. I just couldn't. Oh, the shame of it.
Thank you, Miss Clutterbuck.
Was hurt by him not reciprocating. Unlikely to be suspect. Trapped. Killed by salt. Couldn't have used it for murder. Interesting.
Hold on a moment, Frumple. Let's take stock. I'm rather afraid we're not getting anywhere with this investigation.
Does seem like a bit of a tricky one even for you. We have plenty of suspects, but little proof.
Quite. We seem to have got everything we can out of interrogating people. We're still no closer to knowing who did it. It's so infuriating.
Pity old Gilfrey didn't let you know in advance what his plans were. Might have given us a clue as to why someone was so intent on stopping him.
We just lost touch over the years. He was busy with research, me with my work, and now it's too late. I should have made more of an effort.
Steady on, old chap, you weren't to know. That's just how life is sometimes.
I just need to solve this case. Catch the fiend who murdered my friend.
I say, what if we could get the rotter to expose themselves somehow?
Yes, but how? Oh, but wait a moment. Yes, it could just work. Madame Lavinia, she's the key. If she could summon Gilfrey's spirit, he could name the murderer.
Well, I don't want to burst your bubble, old thing, but, well, that's a load of old tosh, isn't it? No such thing as ghosts and spirits. Honestly, Winklebottom, you confound me at times.
Of course, we know it's nonsense, but the killer may not. If we can make it look authentic, a seance might cause the killer to reveal himself. If he thinks old Gilfrey's about to finger him, he'd have to escape, or else own up before he was accused.
So all we have to do is fake a seance and wait for the killer to react. Genius. Or insanity. Honestly, I'm not sure which.
Perhaps both, my friend. Right, we should talk to our friendly medium about this.
Perhaps. Also... Well, we know a song. Maybe it's something Frumple might know.
How marvellous! A pipe organ inside a sub.
Well, I'm sure I could.
Well then, Frumple, we know the tune you need to play.
Oh, very well, if you insist. Let's see now.
Oh,
Good grief, a piece of paper shot out of the pipe when you played that last note.
Thought it sounded a bit off.
Let's take a look at this. It says, where we met, where we got engaged, where we married, where Constance was born. I'm not sure this is a great deal of help, but it must connect to this safe somehow.
perhaps. But that'll be for next time. When we come back, folks. Still learning a lot more. Have a good one.